Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do a little update on some things and explain why I'm not as far as I thought. So, first and foremost, not sponsored. Thank you to Go Fast or Go Fast Hobbies. Got my stuff here, allowed me to continue my build. I got some sweet treats for Valentine's Day. My kids are happy. Start on the turnbuckles, and you can see we have them in. And you know what, guys? They worked out fantastic. So what we did was we used the DC-10 ball cup kit, our tie rod end kit, for the ball cups. Worked great. What we're doing is we're using a +2 shock eyelet front and back. I know I said +4 before. You'll want to use a +2 if you're doing this modification. Titanium bottom shock mounts, those again are Fan RC, got those from Go Fast. I have an extra set to do the big bores on here as well. And everything is looking good. Got our titanium pins in for our caster blocks. So titanium in there. It actually, if you do this modification with the turnbuckles, you almost need these because you can't get the old ones out because they're much bigger. And so you almost have to undo this to get those out. Using the titanium ones, you can easily unscrew and get these out. So, do you have to have them? No. Are they cool? Hell yeah, they're cool. So, plus I needed something to fill my order from Go Fast. So, got that taken care of. Got our ends on. Like I said, I was hesitant to put these on, but once we get our Exo Designs bar in, we'll see how those end up. We may need to modify those ends slightly or get a shorter turnbuckle depending on where it kicks it out. But other than that, got that all in there. We'll have to get this, all aligned and on a rack to figure out all of our toe camber. Drivetrain feels good. Got our Reedy SP5 motor in there. And I know the very first question people are going to ask is, hey man, that's all cool and everything. Where's the shocks? And let me tell you something, guys. I have a Colombian wife. Love my Colombian wife. She's fantastic. But I went to Moore and I bought everything I could for 13 shocks, right? Bought my springs, caps, cups. All that stuff is sitting right over there, looking good. All I needed to do was something very simple. Order a Kashima shock kit and call it good on A-main, right? Use my A-main points, get my Kashima shock kit. And it arrived today. The only problem is when I was ordering my Kashima shock kit, my wife comes into the bedroom, takes her shirt off, and of course, like any red-blooded American male, I was traumatized by what I saw. Could not concentrate, and next thing I know, I added something to my cart that I thought it was correct and it was not. Nor did I double check because my mind was elsewhere. So what happened is 12 millimeter Kashima shocks came in. So I sold basically all my 12 millimeter shock stuff and converted almost everything over to 13 millimeter shocks. That way I can use I can share springs, bottom spring cups, all that stuff. So I reordered 13 millimeter shocks from A-main. They shipped out today. I'm sending these back. So I won't have them till perhaps Monday. So in the meantime, I am going to continue to work on some things. Like I said, I got the turnbuckle set. Those are great. The only other thing I got to work on really is I have my under tray painted, so I'm going to get my under tray in here, and I'm going to start working on the electronics. I'm going to get the servo in there. I obviously have the motor in there. I have my receiver over there in the back from my Fly Sky radio with my antenna. Got my antenna mounted. We'll get that in there. One thing I do, guys, that I know some people, and they may take reference to this, but I do order Axon black silicone rings, and I order them in the medium compound. And when I'm doing turnbuckles, and I do this on all my race cars, and I've done it ever since my B5. But I don't know how many of you remember when the B5 came out, they did the orange O-ring in the steering rack. Well, I put black O-rings on one side of all my turnbuckles. So I have one here, and what that does is it just keeps the turnbuckle from twisting and getting caught up and preventing any bind in there. So I just usually do it at the inner mount. So in the back, it's on the inners, it's on the inner part behind the shock tower, and then it's on the bottom part of the steering rack here as well. So I use 6 silicone O-rings, put those in there, and that just helps the turnbuckles from twisting and getting bound up. So it kind of keeps them all nice, straight up and down, and make sure everything moves nice and free. So that's one trick I do on a lot of my builds, and I've done it on almost everything. I didn't do it on my graphite or my long arm, but I may, because I was running out. So I do have a few left over, and I got another bag I ordered just to do that. So I'll get those in there. Shock mounts are figured out. Exo Designs shipped out my stuff on Monday. It looks like it is hitting Los Angeles. It hit Los Angeles, I believe, today. So I am hoping from Los Angeles I should see those maybe Wednesday, Thursday next week. That'll allow me to get the rack in. I'll get the rear shock tower on. I'll also modify the rack in my 870 to take the long bridge from Exo. And then this thing should be about ready next week. So I'll do a couple more things. Like I said, I'll get the under tray mounted. I'll narrow up the front bumper, because I'm pretty sure that can be narrowed on this chassis. So we'll see. We'll narrow that up. We'll get the under tray mounted, and then start mounting our electronics. And then if our big bores come, we'll do that. But we'll kind of rearrange what we're going to be doing. And like I said, we'll do the electronics, get those set, get the under tray mounted, get that stuff on there, and start getting this thing going. But so far, so good. Everything's looking good. The only thing I'm going to have to do is on the very rear end here at full droop. Yeah, you can see the shaft is coming out. So I'm going to have to put some limiters on the internal of the shock, because I'll be running 27.5 big bores in the back. So I'll have to limit that just slightly, which not a big deal. So that'll basically get us from about right here, all the way up. So we will do that. The fronts are good. So the fronts at full droop are just at the right edge of the cup. So the front's totally fine. So I won't need to use spacers or anything in there, unless I want to, just to limit droop, because that is a substantial amount of droop on this bad boy. So we may limit that. It puts less stress on the UJs, I think, as well. So we will maybe put like a 2 mil limiter in there, and then maybe I think 3 or something in the back, just to get that. Also running just a typical ball stud on this end, and then a TI turnbuckle will run through and over there to our servo. So I'll pick up a servo, probably going to use a Protec, and I might actually use like a low profile one. We'll see. So wanted to do just a quick video, quick update, because I know some people were looking forward to this, but fortunately my Colombian wife had other plans, and I was not paying attention to a lot of things at the moment. So big bore shocks, 13 mil, like I said, A-Main shipped them out today. Should have those early next week. Exo order comes in as well. So we'll get the electronics set up. Like I said, we'll get the under tray mounted. We'll narrow up the front bumper, get that cut on there, and start getting that stuff in here. Get our ESC wired up, soldered. I have, ends, so we'll get the battery mounted, figure out our ends there, and getting that all together. But looking good. So, but I did want to update people on the turnbuckle. So the DC-10 work fantastic. And those are part number 72221. And with that, you get all the shorter turnbuckle ends, tie rod ends. And then you get 2 of the +4, and then I believe 4 of the +2 shock eyelets. So I used the +2s on here, and seem to work fine. And then when you do the big bores, you know, you may have to buy another kit. I would just buy 2 of them. Then you got spares. But then on the shocks, right now I don't know what I'm going to use, but I was kind of fooling around with them. And if I use a flat cup in the back, I'll probably use a +4. If I use a +5 in the front, I'll probably use a +2 extension on there. So same as this, +2 will be in the front with a 5mm cup, which will, that way it doesn't hit any of the arm. In the rear, I'll just use a longer shock end, so I'll use the +4 with a flat cup. I mean, we'll see how it all pours out, but that's what I plan on doing. I have them all set, ready to go, and I have different size cups, but I'll work on that as well when our suspension package gets in. But like I said, I just wanted to get a quick video out there on the turnbuckles, and we'll get some stuff done this weekend to get this up and going, and perhaps see a couple other videos on some other stuff this weekend. A little bit of a project update. I'm trying to win some auctions off eBay and see if I can get some stuff there. Hopefully, cross my fingers, and might be bringing some new stuff to the channel. Well, new old stuff on there as well. And then I may do a little follow-up to my associated rant, because apparently my Colombian wife wants to go to Vegas with the kids, so we will be going. So I will perhaps kind of do a video on what I'm going to do to prep and get ready, and what cars we're taking. And like I said, you already know. It's a fan graphite as well as my 870C. So I'm going to be doing probably a couple more update videos on my 870C just as I get that ready for vintage there in Las Vegas. Like I said, I'll do the carbon bridge update, and I just did a refresh to it. So it's got a new under tray, and everything else has been refreshed. I am going to pull the diffs, look at those, and I may change the front diff fluid out to 7,000 instead of 5,000, but I kind of do like how that car handles, so maybe I'll just leave it and refresh it and get some practice on it. And then right before, obviously, Associated Vintage Race in October, which is a long ways away, what I'll do is I will probably refresh it again there and see if we want to make any changes or not. So other than that, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.